Hi everyone. Today we're learning 11 Chinese words from HSK 4 Standard Course, Lesson 5. These words have unique meanings, and I'll explain each one, giving details and examples to help you understand them clearly. Let's get started. 打折. Let's start with 打折, which means to give a discount. This word is especially useful for shopping, so if you love bargains, pay close attention. 打 means to hit or to give, and 折 means to break or to fold, which in this case refers to lowering or reducing the price. 打折 often appears with a number to indicate the percentage of the discount. For instance, 打八折 means the item is 20% off, so you're paying 80% of the original price. A sentence example would be, 这件衣服正在打折. This piece of clothing is on discount. In Chinese culture, bargaining and discounts are common, especially in markets, so learning to use 打折 correctly will help you spot a deal and ask for discounts confidently. 顺便. Our next word is 顺便, which means by the way or conveniently. This is useful when you're doing something extra or additional on top of your main task. 顺 means smooth or to follow, and 便 means convenient. Together, 顺便 suggests completing an extra action with ease alongside the main one. You can use 顺便 with a verb to describe what you did while you were at it. For example, 我去超市的时候，顺便买了些水果. When I went to the supermarket, I conveniently bought some fruit. This shows that buying fruit wasn't the main purpose, but something extra. Using 顺便 is a polite and easy way to introduce small favors or add-ons to a conversation. It implies that the action was done effortlessly and didn't cause much trouble. 逛. Next, let's talk about 逛, which in this context means only or just. While 逛also means light, here it emphasizes that something is exclusive or limited to a certain action. For example, 他光喝水不吃饭. He only drinks water and doesn't eat. This indicates that drinking water is all he does, emphasizing that no other action, like eating, is involved. Using 逛is similar to saying just or only in English, but it carries a slight emphasis. It's often used to convey that something isn't enough or could be more. For example, saying 光学习还不够 would mean just studying isn't enough, suggesting that extra effort or additional actions are needed. 实在. 实在 is a useful word that can mean really, truly, or honestly, often expressing sincerity or emphasizing a feeling. It's built from 实, meaning real or true, and 在, meaning to exist or to be present. When combined, 实在 is all about expressing something genuine or heartfelt. For example, if you're impressed with something, you can say, 实在太好了. It's really great. Using 实在 adds emphasis and shows you're genuinely excited or sincere about what you're saying. You might also use 实在 in situations where you're expressing honesty or humility, like 我实在不会做这件事, meaning I honestly don't know how to do this. It's a versatile word that can add a personal or genuine tone to what you're expressing. 效果. 效果 means effect or result and is often used to talk about how effective or impactful something is. 效 means to show or to take effect, and 果 means fruit or result. Together, 效果 describes the outcome or success of something. For example, 这个药的效果很好. This medicine is very effective. Here, 效果 conveys that the medicine has a strong impact or result. 效果 can be applied to various things, from medicine and products to projects and actions. If you're talking about a presentation's impact, you could say, 演讲的效果很好. The presentation was effective. It's a useful word for evaluating success and impact in everyday conversations. 考虑. Next, we have 考虑, which means to consider or to think over. 考 means to test or to examine, and 虑 means to consider. When used together, 考虑 refers to evaluating options before making a decision. There's a subtle difference between 考虑 and 思考. While 考虑 is more practical and decision-focused, 思考 is about deeper reflection or abstract thought. For example, you'd use 考虑 for practical decisions, like 我需要考虑一下这个提议. I need to consider this proposal carefully. But if you're contemplating life or bigger questions, you'd say, 我喜欢在安静的地方思考人生. I like to reflect on life in quiet places. Understanding this difference helps to communicate when you're doing practical decision-making versus deeper thinking. 样子. 样子 means appearance, shape, or model. Yang refers to appearance or shape, while zu is a suffix commonly used with nouns. Together, yangzi describes how something looks, or even a particular style. For example, you could say, 她的样子很美. She has a beautiful appearance. Yangzi can be used for people, objects, or even describing how someone carries themselves. If you're shopping and want to ask about a style, you might say, 这件衣服的样子很好看. This clothing style is very nice. Yangzi can describe anything from someone's demeanor to an object's design, making it versatile for both people and things. 年龄. Next, we have 年龄, which is a more formal way of saying age. 年 means year, and 龄 refers specifically to age, especially of people. 年龄 is typically used in official contexts. To ask about someone's age in a formal way, you might say, 你今年多大年龄? How old are you this year? However, in casual conversations, you'd likely hear 年纪 instead. If you're filling out forms or attending formal events, 年龄 is the appropriate term to use. In informal settings, you'd go with 年纪 for the same meaning, but with a softer, everyday tone. 尤其. 尤其 means especially or particularly. 尤 means especially, while 其 means that or it's. 尤其 is used to highlight something specific among a group. For example, 我喜欢所有的季节，尤其是春天. I like all seasons, especially spring. Using 尤其 adds emphasis to your preference or highlights a standout choice. It's often used in descriptions to draw attention to something important. For example, if you're talking about your favorite food, you might say, 我喜欢甜食，尤其是蛋糕. I like sweets, especially cake. 受到. Next is 受到, meaning to receive or to be subjected to. This word is often used when receiving something intangible like influence, praise, or criticism. 受 means to receive, and到 means to arrive or to reach. Together, 受到 implies being impacted by an action or influence. For example, 他受到了表扬. He received praise. Use 受到when referring to things like support, education, or compliments. Remember, if you're talking about receiving a tangible item like a package, use 受到 instead. 受到 often carries an emotional or experiential meaning, while 受到 is more straightforward for physical items. 寄. Finally, we have 寄, which means to send or to mail. 寄 is most commonly used when referring to mailing letters or packages. For example, 我要给他寄一个快递. I want to send him a package. This word is practical for talking about sending items through the mail or other services. In day-to-day conversations, 寄 is simple and straightforward, useful when you're arranging to send gifts, letters, or other items. And that's it. You've just learned 11 Chinese words with all their unique meanings and subtle differences. These words will help you sound more natural and confident in Mandarin. Remember to practice them in sentences, and you'll be a pro in no time. Thanks for watching and see you next time.